Mhm.
You will be able to see my screen now.
Yep.
Yes. So yesterday we stopped here. Not stopped here because it was explained, but not that much confidently because I was having some issue with my word. So here these are two operators we are using together. So one operator is divide and another operator is equals. Yes. So here equals is assignment operator and the slash forward slash is the division operator. So what we are using both division and assignment operator together. So in this class what happens, if I just copy this class and paste it, so what happens in here, we are declaring double A equals 50. Yes, that is assigning. However, in A we are storing and dividing that value as well by 30. So what this value of A is 50, but it is going to store the division value as well. So it divides 50 divide 30 and it will store the answer as A and it will populate the result. So let me execute this one. So what happens in this one? You can see 1.66 is the answer because 50 divide 30 equal to 1.66. Let's make it little bit round. So if I put 90, I'm storing assignment A equals 90 and A divide equals 30. So it will store the value of A after division. So I'm printing, so it will give me 3. 90 divide 30 equals 3. Yes? Any question with this?
Is there any reason you're using double?
It is this not a reason, but in future when we have to use them, we can use two operators together. And this, okay. Another thing is based on your functionality, based on your requirements, you will end up using double. But as a tester, you won't. But if you become a developer, then definitely. Okay, the next one operator is percentage and equals. So the percentage equals is called modulo or modulus. So what happens here? It says for assigning modulo of let operand with right operand and then assigning it to the value on the left. So what it will divide the value and the remainder will be your answer. So it's a returns remaining value or remainder we call it. Yes. So it's a divides left hand. So whatever we give the value, it will divide by the other value and it will give you the answer which is remainder. So here in this example, I have integer A equals 15. I'm storing assignment value now A percentage equals 3. So 15 divide 3 is the 5. Yes. But in this case, as we don't have any remainder, what will happen? It will give us 0 value. Okay, so if I execute this one, 0. Can you see? So let me just copy and paste the evidence. Oh, I have it already. Okay, in the same one, if I do 15 divide 2, what would be the answer? Answer would be 1.
0.5 or 1.
It's 1. Okay, so what happens? 7 times 2 equal to 14 and 1 is the remainder. Yes, so the answer would be 1. Agree? So let's do one more. So I have another example in here. I have 55. Okay, and I'm just randomly putting one value. So what happens? 55 divides 6, and whatever remainder, it will give us the result. So 1. Yes, agree? Let's change it to 5. Divide by 5. What would be the answer?
0.
Yes, 11 times 5 equal to 55. So it will give us the 0 result. Let's do 3. So whatever remainder, it will give us 1. Yes. So this is the operator. It is called modulo operator or modulus. Any questions so far with this one?
No.
The next one is bit complicated. The next operator is known as operand and signed equals. So this operator is known bitwise operator and equals, bitwise and equals operator. So what is it says? Binary and operator copies a bit to the result if it exists in both operands. So what happens? It converts the value to the binary, and whatever is the matching number, it gives the result. Okay, so let me do it this, and then I will explain you. That is more than enough. I copied it not. This we don't need it, so I comment this. So what happens? Integer a, int a equals 5, and we are using a ampersand equals 3. So 5 and 3 will be converted into binary value, and whatever is the result, it will print it out. So 1 is the matching number in both the operands. Yes, I need to explain you this one thoroughly. I explained you long time back, but you might not remember. Okay, not Word, I need Excel. This you need to remember properly. If you don't remember even, then I don't know whether you are going to use or no. But conversion from decimal to binary is a must. If you work like in a project, I worked smart metering or some other projects where some of the values are converted into binary values. So far, do we have any question? Okay. So now every time I load, I will have this one. Load that time, I can use the notepad. It won't be good. So how we can calculate decimal values or number values better to binary? Okay. So what happens? This is a kind of syntax kind of stuff we have. So 2 power 0. If you remember, I have explained it. 2 power 1. You remember? 2 power 2. 2 power 3. This is better. Okay, so you can go bigger, but this is more than enough. I will go by the 8 numbers. Okay, so 2 power need to start from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We put one extra. Okay, and then we are going to convert these values to the binary values, and that would whatever will be value comes, that we are going to compare, and that comparison will be the answer okay. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yes, let me add 1, 2, 8. Okay, I'm just putting this value. So how I just say, you just consider it 2 power 8, 2 power 7, 2 power 6, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, and 2 power 0. Yes. So 2 power 0, how many? Do you know the number? Answer? So nobody knows. Yes. So this I am putting this power symbol, this one. Yes. 1. This power symbol. Yes. 2 equals this power this.
8, 8.
This power symbol this. Yes.
16,
Let me put this one.
16, 22.
Yes. 100 and this will be
56.
the last one. You can go bigger than this one. Okay, it is not the end, because normally we have 8. Okay, so here I'm putting just all values as 0. Okay, so you have normally 8, but you can go up to 32, 64, whatever it is. So normally whenever you have binary division, you have this format. Okay, 0, 0, just I'm giving it. So this is everything for 0. But when it is 1, so you need to see when it is 1 standing, this one. Let's go line. Yes. So when you are converting any decimal value, okay, to binary values, you need to follow this pattern. So if it is 1, where is 1? Here, yes. So here you put 1, all other would be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, yes. When you go by 2, so you have 2 in here, yes. So you put 1 in here and you put this one 0, 0. Understood? 3. So where will you put 1 when it is 3?
In the third box from the right.
This one
Below. Below.
here.
Yeah.
This is 4. This is not 3.
Or three would be here.
So here 2 and 1, yes. All other 0, 0, 0.
So we just add 2 plus 1.
Yes, 2 plus 1. Here is 4. So the 4 value already exists in here.
Yeah, so that will be 1.
So that would be 1. Here 0, 0. All other zeros.
Yeah.
When it is 5, where you are going to put?
1 and 4.
4, yeah. So here 1, 0, 1. All other zeros, yes. What about 6?
It's 2 and 4.
Yeah, so 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 7.
1 to 4.
Yes. 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. 8.
Only 8.
Yes. We have already 8 there, yes?
Yeah.
9.
1 and 8.
1 and 8. So 1 here. 10.
2 and 8. 2 and 8.
So 0.
1.
Hold on. Here's something else. 1.
0, 1.
11.
1 to 8.
1, 2 and 8. 1, 1, 0,
0, 1.
1, 0, 0, 0, 0. 12.
8 and 4.
So 0 here, 0 here, 4, 8,
1.
all other zeros. If I don't do, that's fine. But I'm doing 13.
Then 8, 4, 1.
Yes. So 1 in here, 0 here.
1. 1.
14.
8, 4, 2. It's 0, 1, 1, 1. 0, 0.
15.
1, 1, 1, 1. Here. 4, 1 and then 0.
16.
So 2, 4, 8 and 16 or only 16?
Only 16 is there already.
Yeah. 16.
17.
16 and 1. 1, 0, 0. 1.
18.
16 and 2. 16. 1, 0, 0, 1, 0.
Yes.
0. Yeah.
So this is how you convert decimal to binary. This is bit hard work, yes? If you just go and Google and There's a table there. Yes, see? Can you see? Up to 256. If you scroll little bit down, I think this is the one. It might have a proper better calculator. Yes, see, you have all ready made in here. We did up to 18. Yes, 3 zeros, 1, then 2 0 and 1 0. Yes,
Yeah.
but this is the how you calculate it. The ready-mades are this is the same format they have. If you read it, they must have explained exactly the same thing we have converted. So let's go to our example. So what happens in here? So in here I have given the binary value converted on given it 0 1 0 1 and 0 0 1 1. So what is a common value in here? Common is 1, yes? And that's why the answer is 1. Let's change it some other values. 55, 35. It's a bigger number. Yes? Didn't convert it properly. 35, yes, is the common value. Definitely. When you go and do a bigger in here, 35, so there might be few values matching in there. So let's go to the table. 55. Is that? Yes. 35. So 35 1 1. Yes, so 35 is there, so it is the answer. It is given in here. So let's change it to other number so we can easily understand. Smaller number is better to understand, so we can see it. So 9 and 5 will be converted, and whatever is the common number, it is also having one number, so 1 is the common answer. Yes, understood?
Yeah.
So what you convert this value, and whatever is the common number, it should return this operator. Any question with this one?
No, you explained it really well. Thank you.
Okay, the next one, let me save this one as well here. The next one is equal to operator. So here in cases what happens, it compares the two value, and if the two values are same, then it populates whatever result we want to populate it. Yes, so here in there, go on. Go on. Hello? You were saying something.
I was saying so is it going to be the true or false?
Yes,
Like
true or false.
Okay.
And based on this comparison, we can do all the comparison and statement would be there. Whenever you verify something as a tester, you can, okay, this result equal to this. So it is like expected result equals actual result, then do this, or simple you can say test pass or test fail. Yes, so this is true. Yes, because they are equal, and that's why it is printing true. But if I change the value, then what it will put, the result will be written as false.
Yes.
So b equals, okay, let me put a equals 25, int a equals 25, int B equals 15. They are not equals. So if I system.out.println A equals B, it will say no, it is not equal. What happens? Yes? False. Can you see? False. So in test scenario, what you are going to do, when you have to have comparison, you say expected results equals this. Then you put some if statement. If expected result equals actual result, then you say the test pass or test fail. You use the if statement. Within that we will come and we will use that. Okay, so this is let's move to the next one. Yes, next one, not equals. It is exactly the same thing. If this value is not equals to other value, if it is not equals, then it will print true. If it is equals, then what it will print?
False.
False. Okay, so I can just change in here. So in this case, int A equals 25, int B equals 15. System.out.println, what I'm printing? A not equal to B. Yes, it is not equal to, so it will say true. Yes, and if I should do A equals 25, int B equals 25, but I am saying system.out.println, when it is displaying, I am saying A not equals B. Yes, it is equals, so it will result, it will return the result as false. So exactly the similar condition you can use when you are verifying some of the data. Next operator is greater than and less than. So when you are comparing two values, and if the values are greater than, it will say true or false. So int A equals 25, int B equals 25. System.out.println, I am saying A greater than B. I saving and execute. What would be the result?
False.
False, because it is not greater. Yes,
Is not B.
so let me put in here 15. Int A equals 25, int B equals 15. System.out.println A greater than B. It is greater than. Yes, so what would be result? True. Yes, next one, A equals 5, B equals 15, and my condition is A greater than B. What would be the result?
False.
False. Yes, exactly the same condition with less than. So let's give two values, exactly the same values we are going, and the same condition. A, int A equals 5, int B equals 15. System.out.println A less than B. If I execute this one, what would be the result?
True.
True, because 5 is less than 15. If I put A equals 15, B equals 15, A less than 15, what would be the result?
False.
False, because they are not equals. Next condition, we are going to use two conditions together, greater than and equals. So here we are going to have two conditions here. So either we can give greater than equals, it will compare two values and check is this value is greater than the other value and equals, then it will return true. If the value is not greater and equal, it will return the false. So let's do this way. Greater than equals. What would be the result for this case? Int a equals 15, int b equals 15, system.out.println a greater than equals 15. What would be the result?
True.
True, because it is. Yes. Let's give another example in here. A equals 5, b equals 15, a greater than equals b. What would be the result? False, because a is less than b. Yes, it is not greater or equals. Yes, this will be the last one. We are going to use two operators together, which is less than or equal to. So here I am saying a equals 5, b equals 15, system.out.println a less than equals b. Is it correct?
Yeah. True.
So what would be the result?
True.
True, because this condition is true. Let's change. Int a equals 55, int b equals 15, system.out.println a less than equals b. What would be the answer?
False.
False, because it is not, it is greater. Yes. So these are all the operators we are going to use.